are in the chapter of Karma Yoga. Karma meaning willful action and yoga meaning the practice of it correctly. Sadhana of the Karma Yoga will lead to moksha. We know that, and we are going to see how it will lead to moksha. Shloka number 13. यज्ञशिष्टाशिनः सन्तः उच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापाः ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्. So here we will go through word by word meaning. Yajna Shishtaha. Shishta meaning the remnants of the food. So when you offer it to the god and we are, that is basically means prasad. So Yajna Shishtaha, Ashinaha, the eaters, Santaha, what have they considered? If you are eating the remnants of the food offered to God, you are considered Santaha. That means you are considered a saint. Muchyante Sarva Kilbishaihi. Muchyante meaning they are released. So Yajna Shishtaha means the remnants of the food offered in sacrifice. Ashinaha meaning the eaters. Santaha meaning saintly persons. Muchyante meaning they are released. Sarva meaning all kinds of Kilbishaihi from the sins. So if you are taking it as prasad, you are released from all the sins. But the people who are not doing that, bhunjate, who are enjoying, te, tu, te means they, tu means but, agham. Agham is the sins. And papaha, these people are the sinners because they have eaten. Why? How have they eaten? Ye, those people, pachanti, cook the food, atma karana, only for the sake they cook and eat. Those people are the sinners. So here the two kinds of papas are being talked about is the known and the unknown papa. So known papa is we are doing knowingly, we do certain things. So that is a very big sin. Unknowingly also we are doing lot of sins. We don't even realize. So both the sins will be dissolved if you are doing in this attitude of offering. So 5 papas for householders, unknown papas are being talked about. I will just give the words if you need it. Khandani. Khandani meaning when we are crushing or when we are cutting, that papa is there. Because we are killing some organisms when we are doing such things. Khandani. Peshani. When we are grinding things, we are also accumulating some papas. Chulli. When we are lighting the fire in the house, we are accumulating papas. Udakumbi. When we try to bring water, then also some damage is done. So we are accumulating papa. And marjani. When we are sweeping the house, we are killing some creatures, some little organisms. There also we get papa. So these are unknown papas that the householders get. But these papas are also being dissolved when you are doing things in the right attitude, it has been said. So khandani, it is crushing or cutting. Peshani is grinding. Chulli is lighting fire. Udakumbi is when you are bringing water. Marjani is when you are sweeping the house. Unknown, known papas, everything will go away. General translation. The spiritually minded who eat the food that is first offered in sacrifice are released from all kinds of sins. Others who could cook food for their own enjoyment verily eat only sin. Shloka number 14. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhavah yajñād bhavati parjanyah yajñah karma samudbhavah. Annād bhavanti bhutani. Bhutani are all these beings, all of us, existing because of what? Anna. We are existing by food because we know that Anna is made up of these 5 elements. When these 5 elements are assimilated in our body is also made of 5 elements. The same. So we exist because we are eating the food. Then how is this food coming? Parjanyat anna sambhavaha. So this food, the anna, is coming from Parjanya, from the rains. So these are the things that we see. Then Yajnat Bhavati Parjanya. So how is this Parjanya or this rain coming? Yajnat Bhavati Parjanya. From the Yajna, from the sacrifice, this is coming. Yajnaha Karma Samudbhavaha. Yajnaha is the sacrifice. Karma, it is coming from the prescribed duties. It is born of the prescribed duties. So, what they are saying is our bodies are depending on the food. Food is coming from the rains, and rain is coming from dharma. There it becomes a little bit tricky. Two things we are able to see: our body we are able to see, the rain we are able to see, and the food we can make the connection. But here, what they have said is the rain is coming from the punyam. Actually, the rain only comes because of this apur. They will call it apurvam, which is something which cannot be seen, which we cannot see. So we may not believe in it. But actually, the rain is coming from the punyam that this mankind is doing. And this, what is that based on? This yajnam is based on karma, and karma again is based on the body. So if this cycle is broken, then that is why there are no rains, and then there is no food, there is drought, there is famine, there is no prosperity. If the cycle is being followed, if everybody is following the cycle, then there will always be prosperity. So the general translation is all living beings, they are existing based on food, and food is produced by rains. Rains comes from the performance of the sacrifices, and sacrifice is produced by the performance of the prescribed duties. Karma Brahmodbhavam Vidhi Brahmaksharasamudbhavam Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma Nityam Yajne Pratishtitam. So karma, these duties, here Brahma is here taking the meaning of the Vedas. The duties are told in the Vedas. Brahma Udbhavam are manifested. Udbhava means manifested. Vidhi, know that these duties are being talked about in the Vedas. Brahma, again it talks about the Vedas. Akshara Samudbhavam. So these Vedas, where have they come from? Vedas have come from Akshara, from the imperishable God Himself. Samudbhavam. It has been directly manifested from God Himself. So what they are saying is this karma is being talked about in the Vedas, and the Vedas are being coming, that has come directly from God, the Vedas. Tasmat, therefore, Sarvagatam Brahma. So, Sarvagatam, it is all pervading Brahma here, meaning the God. Nityam Yajna Pratishtitam. Nityam is eternally, Yajna is in the sacrifice, Pratishtitam is established. So, what they are saying is, how can we say that the acts, what you are talking about, dharma, will lead to good? And what is the proof? So Krishna says, all this dharma that we are talking about and also the karma are all prescribed in the Vedas. And the Vedas are coming from God Himself. Brahma in the first line pertains to the Vedas. Udbhavam, it is produced. And the Vedas are said to be faultless. They are said to be apaurusheyam. That means they are not from man. Purusha means man. Apaurusheya meaning it is not come from man. There is a big advantage when it doesn't come from man, because there are some faults that come, like manufacturing defect. There are some faults that come with human beings. There are some things that it has been taught. We will just see 4 of those, because Vedas don't come from man. So they are, what he wants to say is, it is beyond any faults. So what are the faults of human beings? First is Brahma. That means it is delusion or the wrong conviction. See, if some man advises you, as opposed to Veda advising you, man could be leading you in the wrong direction based on his own conviction. So people may ask, oh, why are you wasting money in charity? Like that they may ask you. Because that is from their own conviction they will talk. But if the Vedas say you must do charity, it does not come from man. So you can directly follow it. That is why we have to go directly to what our scriptures say. That advice is much better than taking advice from any other human being, because Brahma, this comes along with human beings, is to have the delusion or the wrong conviction. So they may misguide you. And pramada means carelessness. That is also existing in human beings. That is, people will say some wrong things due to carelessness. They will not bother at that time. So they could say the wrong things. So that is also coming, but the Vedas never, they are not careless. They will only give the right advice at all times. And that was second. And third was Karana Apatava. Karana Apatava means a defect in our Karana, or the organs, in our mind or in our eyes. The mind is clouded with some other thing. We have some disease. Then that will also to result to a wrong vision. So if that person is going to advise another person, it will be like this blind leading the blind. So it will not be the correct advice. And the fourth is vipralipsa. That means it is kind of cheating, which also leads to taking somebody in the wrong direction. That is also possible for a human being to do. So because of all these things, the advice of human beings are not, it can may not be 100% correct all the time. But the Vedas having come from God, that is why it is said Apurusheya, it does not come from man. Therefore, it is said to be faultless. So whatever has been said in the Vedas, we can be followed, and that will lead to good. And the other point here is the karma is being prescribed in the Vedas. So, and the Vedas have come from God. So, by performing the karma, you are directly establishing connection with God. Yajna, karma, which you do in the proper way, direct connection with God is established. Because if the teacher has said what is to be done, and you are following the teachings of the teacher, you have directly established connection with the teacher. So this is the important point here. The duties for human beings are described in the Vedas, and the Vedas are manifested by God Himself. Therefore, the all-pervading God is eternally present in all acts of sacrifice. So here Krishna talks about what happens if this cycle is not being followed. So the consequences of not following this cycle. एवं प्रवर्तितं चक्रं नानुवर्तयतीह यः अघायुरिन्द्रियारामः मोघं पार्थ स जीवति. So here he gives 3 words. First we will learn those words. Aghayuhu. This ayu meaning this life. This life is full of sins. Aghayuhu. That is the first word. First consequence. So this life of ours becomes full of sins. Then Indriyaramaha. Indriyaramaha means the person who is only satisfied with the sense gratification. So the person becomes like that. And Mogham. Mogham is different from Moham. Moham is delusion. Mogham means what? He uselessly wastes his life, or he lives in vain. So the whole life is wasted. So evam pravartitam chakram. Evam, thus pravartitam means it is set into motion. Chakram, this cycle. Na anuvartayati. If it is not followed. Iha, in this life, yaha, meaning who. Aghayuhu, we saw, living his life sinfully. Indriya Ramaha, he is only living his life for the delight of his senses, only satisfied with sense gratification. Why? Because he has cooked for himself, he has eaten for himself. He has not given it to the God. Aghayurindriya Ramaha, Mogham, vainly he lives his life. Partha sa jivati. So, Partha, Arjuna, this is how he lives his life. It is The person who has not done things for the sense of sacrifice, his whole life is wasted. Like the general translation is, O Arjuna, those who do not accept their responsibility in this cycle of sacrifice established by the Vedas are sinful. They live only for the delight of their senses. Indeed, their lives are in vain. So, with this, what happens is the Karma Yoga part is finished. From 8 to 16, we saw the Karma Yoga. He talked about Karma Yoga. From 17 and 18, he will talk about the Lakshanam of moksha. So it will be two different, very important shlokas. So now what we can do is little bit recap of what we have seen in chapter 2 also to consolidate everything. So we remember. Till here, Karma Yoga is finished, 17, 18 different thing, 19 he will close and then he will go to another topic. Chapter 2, from chapter 2 we have been talking about Karma Yoga. So chapter 2, 47th shloka, we saw very important shloka. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhuhu ma te sangostva karmani. Here we have seen the meaning of it. We talked about actually two kinds of meanings. I will highlight the other one that we didn't highlight it so much at that point of time. We said that you have the choice to work only and not the choice for the results. Don't be attached to the fruits of the results and don't be attached to not doing work. That was the general translation. We also saw another meaning where Krishna saying, Arjuna, at this point of time, you have the right to work only, meaning do your karma. You are not yet prepared to do the jnana. You cannot go in that path because I can assess you are fit now only for karma. So you do your karma, which is the war, without expecting any results, and then you not doing this war is also not an option. That is also another interpretation which will fit into what we have seen now, that you have to do karma yoga, then you go to jnana yoga. So till you get chitta shuddhi, or this purification of the mind, you have the right to work only and do not desire the fruits, and do not be without acting, because after that you can proceed to jnana yoga. So that is also the interpretation which we can understand now from what we have seen. So that is the meaning of that we saw karma yoga. 47. 48, yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Equanimous, and what main takeaway here is equanimity. Samatvam yoga uchyate. So be siddhya siddhyo. Siddhya and asiddhi is the success and the failure. Samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. So do your duty, sangam tyaktva, without attachment, dhananjaya. And what actually is then success and failure, if you are equanimous, that is the key here. So equanimity is in duties itself, equanimity in the results, equanimity and relinquishing of the rights that come with the duties, and equanimity and prasada buddhi for kamya karma. So equanimity is the key word here. Then shloka number 50 was also very important. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukrita dushkrite tasmat yogaya yujyasva yoga karma sukaushalam. So key here is yoga karma sukaushalam. So get rid of all this, both the good and the bad. Ubhe sukrita dushkrite tasmat yogaya yujyasva. Therefore, do this duty of what? Yoga karma sukaushalam. Art of all work, what did he say? Was karma yoga. If you are able to convert karma to karma yoga, that is art. Not efficiency or how many other things you do or whatever big position you are in, it does not matter. Whatever the little work if you are doing, if you are able to convert, that is art. That was that shloka. Then shloka number 52. That was also a Karma Yoga shloka. Yada te moha kalilam buddhirvyatidarishyati tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha. Here he gave the palan of Karma Yoga. The fruit actually is vivekam, the ability to differentiate between the eternal and the non-eternal, and the vairagyam, the ability to move away from this non-eternal things. That is the phalan, which has been described by the word nirvedam. Nirvedam means indifference. Shrotavyasya shrutasya, that past and the future doesn't matter, because you have got the vairagyam and the vivekam, the ability to discriminate, the ability to move away. So Karma Yoga phalan is the purity of the mind. So important Karma Yoga shlokas in the second chapter are 47, 48, 50 and 52. Class, we will resume with shloka number 17. Thank you. Sarvam Krishna Arpan.